In this video today, I'm going to walk you through my entire Serato. So the reason why I have 2027 was at the start of this year, I started organising and I made a 2025 folder, and then a few days in, I was like, no, I don't want to organize like that. I want to change completely. So then I made a 2026 folder. Then again, didn't like that. So then I changed it to 2027, and now we've stuck with this. On the right hand side, this is just every single track that I have in my music library. We can go to the top up here, and I have 10,561 tracks. So I'm going to open up 2027, and I've got two crates inside here. So I've got early doors and main set. I've just split my music library into two parts: early doors, main set. Because I was overcomplicating things so much in the previous years. I had crates upon crates. It was too organized, if you ask me. So I had opening, warm up, main set, warm down and everything, and it just got way too complicated. So I've just decided to just have two different sections, and there's just two parts of my night: when people start to walk into the club, and then when there's people inside the club. I'll show you early doors first, and then we'll get into the main set. Inside early doors, I've got all the tracks that I would not play during a warm up or main set. So they're not going to be really anything popular. They're going to be tracks that I really like, but nothing's going to be really popular. The way I set this up was, you see on this left hand side here, I've got grouping that has no set. I went through every single track in my music library and marked these tracks with no set. I went through 5,740 tracks and typed in no set into each one. I spent around about an hour and a half a day going through each of my genres and just deciding if the track's going to be set or no set, main set or early doors, and that's it. It did take a long time. It took me just over a month, but it's so helpful, because when I start DJing now, I just turn up on my set, I set my laptop up, I can be literally 1 minute before I've got to press play. I can go into here, order it by BPM, close my eyes, scroll down, stop, click here, and I can start with this track. Because I know that every single track in here is for the start of the night. Any of these tracks in here are perfect for the opening part of the set. This is my overall early doors crate. Then I've just got it split up into different parts that make sense for me. So the first one is just BPM ranges. So say for example, I want to DJ a specific BPM range, I can go into here and I've got it split up by 50 to 60, 60 to 70, and so on and so forth. If I want to just play a bunch of 50 to 60 tracks, I go inside here. So my music library is just made up of smart crates. So if I go inside here, I've got the rule BPM is less than or equal to 60 and grouping is no set. So any tracks will go inside here. So every single track in here is opening, it's 50 to 60. Then I can play some more faster music. So I can go to 100 to 110. There's a few more tracks in here that I could play. Like I said, I might want to pick a BPM range, close my eyes, select this track, and I could start with Move by Stefflon Don. Literally as simple as that. So that's just how I have the BPM ranges. And then underneath that, I've just got my genre crate and my scenario crate. So I can go through each one just so everyone understands. So I've got 80s. These are just all the 80s tracks that I probably wouldn't play in an 80s set. I could probably go through half of these tracks and delete them. But say for example, I'm playing like an older party where there's a lot of like older people in there and they don't want to hear the bangers straight away, I can start with these tracks so they can get a bit familiar with the music and stuff like that. That's 80s. And then I've got Afrobeats and Amapiano. I did have them split up into Afrobeats and Amapiano separately, but I feel like when I play Afrobeats or Amapiano, I tend to play both of them at the same time. I kind of mix and match, or I'll go from Afrobeats to Amapiano. So I can play the whole crate if I wanted to, but inside here, I've just got it split up. So I've got Afrobeats separately in here, and then I've also got Amapiano in here as well. So it's quite well done. I've got bassline. I don't really play much bassline. I could probably delete this crate. Cheese music. So this is just like your really like pop Mustang Sally kind of songs. I probably can rename the genre from Cheese, but this is just how we call it in the UK. And then now we come down to my Club Classics crate, which Club Classics to me is floor fillers. In my all genres main set, that's probably the best crate that I have. But these are the tracks that I went through and thought, you know what, I don't really play them that much in my warm up or getting people on the dance floor, so let me see which ones I can take out and maybe play at the start of the night to kind of get people going, but not get people going, if you know what I mean. In here, got a bunch of opening tracks and stuff like that, but this is my first scenario crate. So in my previous videos, I've spoken about scenario crate. So a scenario crate is just a crate that I have for a specific scenario. So Club Classics, I built this crate because in my first residency, I struggled to build a dance floor, or I'd start building a dance floor, then I'd kind of forget what songs that I wanted to play. So I built a crate specifically for building the dance floor. So this is it, but this isn't my main one. This is obviously the early doors one, and we'll get into the main one later on. So that's all my tracks in there. I've got commercial, which is like your commercially pop tracks. So I've got quite a few tracks in here. Again, I could probably go through all of these tracks and delete them. One day I'll go and do that, but for now, these are just in here. Then I've got my dancehall in here. I've got my opening dancehall, and if I open this up, I've got old school dancehall and new school dancehall. I feel like when I play dancehall, I'll either play old school or new school. I don't really mix them. So inside old school, I've got some tracks in here, but some of the tracks in here might not even be ready for opening track. They might be tracks that I don't even like, but they just don't fit inside my main set. So I had to choose one, set or no set. Like these Vibes Cartel tracks, they shouldn't be at this opening part of the set, but I just haven't gone through these and cleared them out yet. But I just know that they're not inside my main set crates. And then I've got the new school dancehall as well. I've just got like your Dexter Daps, Alkalines and stuff like that. And I've got drum and bass. I don't really play much drum and bass. I play the really like bait ones, but I've got about what, 15, 16 tracks in here. Would you play drum and bass at a start of a set? Probably not. These are just some of the tracks I've got in here. Garage is really popular in the UK. So we have our like really obvious garage tracks over here, but then there's some underground tracks that I like, and some of them are in here. So at the start of my set, I might play some of these. Then the next scenario crate is girls. When I see a group of girls come onto the dance floor, I like to kind of go inside a crate and play for them. So say for example, a bunch of girls come into the club at the really start of the night, I can go inside here. And I've just got a few remixes like Rude Boy Blow Your Mind, got Baby Boy Who Am I mashup, got Get Your Freak On, Missy Elliott and stuff like that. Just got a few girly tracks that will be good for the start of the set, and these are just not my main tracks that I'm going to be playing later. Got a bit of house, so there's going to be some like really chilled house at the start of my set, nothing too crazy. Jungle, now would you play jungle at the start of a set? Probably not, and these are just going to be tracks that I probably just need to go through and delete. Latin, I don't really play much Latin music, but some of these tracks in here just could be at the start of a set, but these are probably just ones that I probably need to get rid of. Lovers Rock, love a bit of Beres Hammond. I can play some of these tracks at the start of a set, depending on where I am, but I can play some tracks in here. Motown, just some old Motown tracks. Like it's the same as like the 80s tracks. Like if I go and play an older party, I can just jump into here and play some tracks that they may be familiar with before the actual party starts. And I've got R&B and hip hop here. Now I did have this split up into R&B and hip hop, but what happened was when I was DJing, I felt like I wanted to play some hip hop with some R&B, so then I combined this crate. And I feel like this is like a lesson for DJs that when you set up your crates, you need to kind of trial them out and see what works and what doesn't work. And what didn't work for me was having them separate. So I just put them together. So when you're out DJing, maybe write some notes on your phone that things that you could fix with your music library. So I've just got R&B and hip hop here. Inside here, I've got R&B and hip hop, a normal crate. Then inside here I've got my smart crate. So for each one I've got old school R&B, new school R&B. I've got old school R&B again, which shouldn't be old school R&B. This should be old school hip hop. Old school hip hop and new school hip hop. Say for example, on the start of a set with new school hip hop, I can go inside here, close my eyes, stop it, click it, how many times, DJ Khaled, and I can just work from here and then go through the set. So then I've got some reggae tracks in here. I don't really play much reggae in my DJ sets, but I could start remixes. So these are all my mashups and all my edits that I've got. I did a massive clean out of all my edits in my music library because I have downloaded some rubbish over the years. Some of these do need to get cleared out. Like if I go through these, I've got 574 and like I probably don't even need half of them. So that can be a little maintenance task I can do, just kind of just cleaning out all my music inside my remixes. Soca, I don't really play much soca, but these are the tracks that I just didn't want in my main set. UK Funky's really popular over here, but these are some of the tracks that I didn't have in my main set. Now, some of these again could get deleted. And then UK music, I have a lot of UK music inside here. Now, these are tracks that have either been popular and then have kind of just like fallen off. I've put inside here. This just needs to clean up as well, which I will go through. But the main thing is that they've got a tag. They're not inside my proper crates, because the problem I had was when I was DJing, I had so much clutter. Why do I have a track that I will not play in my main part of my set? So I've just stripped it out. That's why I split it up into early doors and main set, just so I don't have this junk messing up my main crates. So that's early doors. And then inside main set is just replicated. So if you have a look, so I've got it exactly the same. BPM ranges, 80s, Afrobeats, cheese. So I've literally just replicated it, but inside here now, these tracks have the tag set. So if I go inside cheese and click edit, of the smart crate, I've now got genre is cheese, and then grouping is set, and that's it. I can go through each one really quickly. So BPM ranges, so say for example I wanted to play 70 to 80, which is going to be like hype section of the night. I can go inside here and literally any track in here I will play in my main set, because I've specifically made sure that all these tracks in here are for the main part of my night. Rich Baby Daddy, I've got an edit here of Don't Stop the Music. I've got Clash by Dave and Stormzy, UK Rap by Dave and Central C. If I scroll down, No More Parties, Coil Ray, Girl You're a Party Animal, got a drum and bass remix here. I've got I Get Money, 50 Cent, Big Rich Town, 50 Cent, Fantasia, When I See You, Doja Cat, Get Into It. Like all these tracks are just bangers. They're all bangers and they all are just in one central place where I can access. I'm DJing, I'm scrolling through, I'm seeing banger after banger after banger. I can kind of just jump into these tracks and play them. That's BPM ranges, and then yeah, it's the exact same as early doors. So I've got 80s, Afrobeats and Amapiano, and it's like I said, it's the exact same, and all the tracks are just a little bit different. Old school dancehall, I love playing old school dancehall, and I've just got Ramping Shop, I've got Wine, I've got Foreplay, I've got Vibes Cartel, got a bunch of Vibes Cartel tracks in here, and this is just perfect for when I'm DJing. When it's time to play dancehall, literally jump inside here, find a track, and then just run with it. And that's it. Before I had to go inside specific crates for specific things. Now I've just made it so much simpler. If you want to see all the tracks inside all the crates, you can check the link in the description down below. This layout worked for me. It's really simple. I personally think this is the most simplest crate structure I've ever had. I've been DJing with it for the past couple of months and I haven't had a fault with it. It's actually made my sets a lot better because I'm finding tracks that I completely forgot about. Because now I've grouped up all my favorite tracks into the main set crate, I'm DJing, scrolling through, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about that track, I could play it now. Before, all those tracks were nested underneath other crates and stuff like that, and I just couldn't find them. But now everything is all nice and organized. I can close this and I've just got 2027, a nice clean crate. All my tracks have genres, most of them have years, everything has tags, and it's just perfect for me. So that was me showing you my entire Serato crates in my library. If you want some more Serato videos, then I suggest you watch this video here.